Grandpaw, Peter Coyote, coming to you from Crestone, Colorado. Allow your heart to move you. Great things can be accomplished, even when you're a whacked out, stoned up hippie freak.
So beautiful. I just started learning how to look into someone's eyes, and it was always a hard thing for me to do, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my life, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life.
Screw what society tells you. Sorry. These wonders of life that awaits you to explore, all the magic, and it's unbelievable. The colors and the smells, and oh my God.
It gets hard to distinguish, and I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's absolutely true. It gets hard to distinguish the difference between where your legs and where your feet ends and where the board starts. You become this one unit. That's the amazing thing, is you feel totally connected.
If we become disconnected from the natural world, we lose something magical, something so precious. We lose part of what it means to be human. We protect what we love.
You gotta grab the bull by the horns. And that's about what it's like sometimes if you lived a life like mine. But you just gotta just claim it. It's yours. I really cry.
Just hundreds of souls united in play.
Mama?
What?
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you more.
I think one day we will look back and say, that was the age of the artist. Well, that's an incredible question, and it kind of answers itself beautifully. The expression itself is a creation. It is creativity. So when we create, we are being that which we are. We are an expression of consciousness. We are this whole thing, this whole existence is an expression, is a creation. It's the most beautiful creation ever created. It is the grand artistic expression. If you look at the universe, the beauty of the universe itself, from a visual point of view, from a spiritual point of view, from a scientific point of view, the beauty of the universe is immeasurable. Even here on planet Ocean, the beauty is endless. Trillions of life forms of every variety, color, size, kind. It's incredible. And then we have humans expressing in every way imaginable, in so many forms and expressions, so varied. And when we see our own creations, music and architecture and poetry and even spirituality and religion and philosophy and science, in all of the art forms, when we see how life plays out, it plays like a symphony. It is a creation. Life itself, from the birth of a child to a bee pollinating a flower, to the final moments before we pass on to another state of existence, from birth till to death, and everything in between, that in itself is a beautiful creation. All of this is a beautiful creation. So when we find ourselves creating, we are not only tapping into that, but we are being that. To create is to truly be that expression. To create is to be that which we truly are. It is not surprising we live in the age of the artist. No time in human history have we seen so many artists of all kinds and trades and styles. It's kind of funny because it's rarely talked about, and it's really not given the attention it should. People don't realize that pretty much just about every human being on the planet is now an artist of some form. If we look at the amount of people that do dance and music, singing and dancing and ballet, the different forms of dancing and ballet, and offshoots of that, when we see actors and drama and writers and poets and authors and illustrators and painters and sculptors and performance artists. The list goes on and on. I mean, try to think of people in your life and you'll know the majority of them all either play instruments or do some kind of art form, whatever it is. Usually many different art forms, but some kind of art form. And that's the majority. And then you get the smaller few that actually don't think, or maybe from our perspective it may not seem that they're artists, but they have a hobby. You know, maybe it's just knitting. That person that knit a scarf, they just created something. That person that's gardening and was designing it to look a certain way, that was an artistic creation. Even when we dress ourselves, the person that puts some thought into their wardrobe with a purpose has created. Halloween and special occasions, when we dress up, we're creating. Even as kids, when we play, and adults, when we play, when we make things up, when we use our imagination, we are creating. We are artists. Even the way we think, which is why we're such a dramatic species. Because if we even just return into our own heads, our own stories we get caught up in, they're so dramatic. We're writing them out. We're the director, we're the writer, we're the star, we're the actor when we do these dramas. It's very artistic. So on every level, on the mental level, on the spiritual level, on the physical level, on the artistic, creative level, especially, it's obvious that we live in the age of the artist. No time in history did we have so many individuals who are free to express themselves emotionally, personally, and artistically, and especially with technology. Technology is a part of the expression. Technology is a gift. Sometimes we see a resistance to technology, and yes, in some ways it behooves us to take it down a couple notches, especially when it's taking us away from nature and closing us off from nature or ourselves. So in that sense, one could say we've taken it too far. But if we look at what it actually gives us, and especially as it relates to expression with the internet is one of the greatest creations and platforms we've ever had on this planet. Now not only can we support one another on a global level, we can express ourselves on a global level. And so we see this on the internet with websites, we see this on the internet with blogs, we see this on the internet with Facebook, we see this on the internet with YouTube, and all the other things in between that can be found on the internet. We're seeing this grand expression where we can share with the world our creations. We can go to YouTube and type in dancing, and we will see thousands upon thousands of videos, even on just one kind of dance or song. Anything artistic is an endless resource. If you want to look up poetry, there's endless poets out there, endless authors, endless storytellers, people creating films and videos, artistic creations, sharing them. It's incredible. And then of course the musicians. It's unbelievable how many there are. You could spend a lifetime exploring them all. So we live in the age of the artist. So if that doesn't tell you what an exciting time we live in, if that doesn't point to that a major shift is happening, there are a lot of pointers to this, but that's another huge pointer, that something really is happening, something amazing is happening. And the proof of that is that we're living in the age of the artist. And I think if we can recognize that and embrace that and celebrate that truly, I think one day we will look back and say, that was the age of the artist. That was the age of free expression. That was the time when so many things transformed and so many things were transcended collectively in a grand expression. This shift, this experience, this ascension is also just another grand expression. Consciousness expressing itself, separating itself, to discover itself, to express itself, and return to itself.
Understand the concept of love. Understand the concept of love.
sharing.